eyeballs and its ears. They don't really do much during the day, very shy creatures. They are herbivores. They eat lots of grasses, leaves, and trees throughout the day. They eat between 40 and 65 pounds of food each day. We got a black rhino walking around in our second yard here. We have two rhinos here on the reserve. This is our smallest rhino, the black rhino, which weighs around 3,000 pounds. Unfortunately, they're very endangered. There's only 5,000 left of them around the world. Couple of bongos along the fence lining here on this right-hand side. They have those amber coats on their backs. Both those males and females have those horns on top of their head. Helps get through the vegetation around them. There is a saddle-billed stork right behind the bamboo here, as well as some greater kudu along the fence lining here on the left. Greater kudus are a type of antelope that can weigh up to 750 pounds. The saddle-billed stork gets its name from the yellow patching in the front part of its bill. Stand about 5 feet tall and have a wingspan of around 9 feet. Up and around this hill, we're going to be entering into the Safi River. There's going to be two watering holes, one on the right hand side and one on the left. Please make sure you guys are staying seated. I know it can be a little bit tricky seeing these animals in the water. Not seeing much action with the larger creatures in the water. I do see quite a few birds. Ones with those black feathers are black vultures, a native bird here in Florida. We call our cleanup crew. We're going to see a couple more birds here on the left. Those white and gray feathers on them, they're called pink-back pelicans, one of 8 species of pelicans. They're colonial nesters. You can see they have built their nest for this year.
Oh, get out there. Get out.
They're everywhere.
Huh?
I said they're everywhere. They're looking at them just sitting here.
As we cross over the bridge here, you're going to find our Nile crocodiles laying out. You can see one of them opening their mouths. They do that to cool and regulate their body heat, which is ectothermic, which means it goes by the surrounding environment temperatures. Their bodies can get between 16 and 20 feet long, so just about as tall as a
Look at them
giraffe.
down here too.
Very stealthy creatures, really not much movement until something pounces in front of their pathway, where they can snap around 200 pounds of force.
Might be.
Right on top of this hill, we get a beautiful look of the West Savannah. The Savannah is one of the most cleanest parts here on the reserve. We have a group of animals that live together here, which are mostly our grazers, such as our zebras, our white-bearded wildebeest, and our type of antelopes that we have here. Looks like we are going to see a zebra as we come down, as well as some antelopes. Right in this back corner here on the right, there's a couple of them laying down. Those guys are springboks with those cinnamon colors on their backs. They get their name because they'll spring and leap up to the air like a trampoline spring, around 13 feet in distance and about 6 feet in height. Very mighty creatures. They are small, but they can run up to 55 miles per hour.
They're back over there lying down. Back that way.
Very large cattle coming up here on this right-hand side. That guy is called an Ankole cattle or Watusi cattle, named by the Watusi group that originally found them. Those horns can get up to 6 feet on either side. They are hollow in the middle, so it doesn't make it nice and light on top of their heads. A couple of African wild dogs on top of this cape here. Also known as painted dogs because of their coats, which is very different from each other. So really good hunters. They usually have that one alpha male that leads the pack. They'll hunt in a pack together to get their meat that they like to eat. Very large ears on top of their head and only 4 toes on each paw.
Wow. Yeah. Look, there's another one of the bulls.
Couple more creatures on the left. We see some cattle, but we also see some sable antelope way in that back corner with some pretty pointy horns on them. They were in a fight or flight situation. Those guys are the ones to fight. They're the emblem of Harambe. Couple of giraffes coming up. These are Maasai giraffes.
Looks a baby one.
Now, giraffes are born. They can already stand 6 feet tall. As adults, they can get up to 20 feet tall. These guys eat between 16 and 20 hours of the day. If they are going to sleep, they're going to sleep for around 30 minutes, and they can do that standing up.
Mm-hmm. Zebra.
Great, look at our Hartman Mountain zebra over here on this right-hand side. Now, each zebra has a very different stripe pattern on their back to tell each other apart. These guys communicate by their nose-snout sounds and show a lot of emotion just by the direction their ears are faced.
See over there?
Yep.
Missing horn. Oh, that's a baby too. It's a cheetah snack. It's a cheetah snack.
Oh, Lord.
Quite a few white-bearded wildebeest in the field just up ahead here on the right. They have those grayish coats on them. Those guys migrate very far distances and travel in very large herds. Biggest herd counted of them was 1.5 million altogether. Group of wildebeest is called a confusion. We got our baby giraffe coming through the bushes here. He's running across the light. That is Mr. Humphrey. He's about 3 months old now.
No.
Grass can run up to 40 miles per hour. These guys have the same amount of vertebrae in their neck as a human does, which is 7.
No. No. Look at these. Up there says wildebeest.
see a monkey out here on the left-hand side walking back near those bushes. You can see him out. These guys are mandrill monkeys, also our friend Rafiki.
It went that way, behind the bushes. Yeah.
Activity happening in this first herd. This first herd here is where we find usually our male elephants. The males will wander off and do their own things while the females will stay together for most of their life. Now we do have a very large yard up ahead where mostly we'll see many of our female elephants if they are out today. Unfortunately, humans are the most dangerous to elephants. Elephants are approached with those ivory tusks in front of their face. There was a time when elephants were wandering on the African farmlands and farmers were getting upset because they were eating and destroying all the crops that they were trying to grow. So they wanted to find a positive, healthy solution to nicely tell these elephants to get off their property. Figured out that they have very sensitive skin and don't like any bugs or insects around them. So they planted beehives on the edges of their farms, which help keep the elephants away, help save the crops. And the farmers were able to get honey from the bees. So it's a great way to use our natural resources around us to help protect and save these elephants and animals' lives. So conservation programs and research are very vital to make sure we have that for many years to come.
The duckies. Oh, lay down sleeping. Some of them are.
On this lower left, you'll find our greater flamingos. These guys are bigger in size and lighter in color. When they are born, they start off as little gray fur balls running around. Eventually, they grow into those white feathers, and then they get that pink color from the keratin that they eat, which comes from the brine of the shrimp. A group of flamingos is called a flamboyant.
So they eat shrimp. They have to feed them the shrimp pen up there. That's them making them.
We have just exited the West Savannah and now made our way into the East Savannah. Just another very large plot of land where we have groups of animals that live here together. You may notice the vegetation is quite a bit different from the last one. There's not going to be really any grazers in here. And we do have animals that utilize that mud puddle in the middle over there, such as our white rhinos that roll in that throughout the hot summer days. Helps protect from the sun as well as any bugs that try to get out their skin. Over on this left, it's going to be a little bit tricky to see, but on top of that hill, I can see some spots. That is a cheetah there.
They see it laying up there.
By the tree trunks on the right.
Be able to see maybe a couple more in that next section. Cheetahs are the fastest mammal. On average, they run around 16
Oh, I
miles
see right there.
per hour within 3 seconds.
There's right
Fastest
there.
recorded cheetah was 72 miles per hour. Great view of them over here on the left walking around. Cheetahs are part of the cat family. They do make a purring sound kind of similar to our cats at home, but they don't have any retractable claws.
Out earlier, something said that. That was up there laying down. You can only see us here. You hear me? Look straight to the left, backwards.
Like I see it's called.
Beautiful lioness here on the corner of the rock here on the left.
Yeah, I see it.
Lions sleep around 20 hours of the day, whether that is resting or sleeping. Lionesses are the ones that do the hunting for their pride. They'll go in a group together out to get that food for the family and then bring it back for the rest of the family to enjoy. While the male will stay back and watch those cubs.
It's one of the things.
You guys look in between the bushes here on the left-hand side. Quite a few warthogs hanging out there. That is our friend Pumbaa from the Lion King.
You see
You'll
it?
see these burrows right underneath them. They'll dig them themselves and then going backwards to have that line of defense from their very sharp tusks to help protect them. Tiny little legs on them, but they can run up to 35 miles per hour. A couple of ostriches hanging out here on the left-hand side as well.
Look right here.
These are all female ostriches because they have light brown feathers on them, while the males will have a dark black feather. Ostriches can run up to 40 miles per hour.
I'm gonna bring your feet on.
Cute. That claw, look at that
Mhm.
claw. That's where they rip them open. That's what they throw out pellets along the years that stay around this area.
This is one of our last areas called Lagadi Glen. It carries our Nigerian dwarf goats. These guys are very small in size, but this is the full adult size that they'll grow to be. They eat lots of hay grasses and leaves throughout the day and have 4 stomachs that develop that into the milk that they produce. There's also a couple of them inside the Jeep right now.
There could be the back of it.
Mm-hmm. Look at it. Look at the yellow one down there.
Where's the big one?
It's so cute.
They eat them.
Oh, look, a little baby. Billy, look. Right there. That one right there. The colorful one right there.
That's not a duck. Oh, the babies everywhere.
Yep. Oh, no. Little babies. So cute.